Hi, my name is Vicky Lee and I'm your success coach. Do you know someone who stares at you and they kind of notice every microscopic detail of your body, your hair, your outfit, like they're evaluating you? Does that creep you out? Well, my friend and client, Andrea, who is a former sales executive and has a master's degree in spiritual psychology from Pepperdine University, her mother stares at her like that and it creeps her out. In psychological terms, that's a classical narcissist. And what they're doing is they're scoping you out, literally, like how a jewel thief would scope out a jewelry store. Because a narcissist wants to take from you any jewels you have in your life, joy, happiness, youth, and literally steal from you and wear those things on their own body as if they were their own jewels. And especially if that narcissist is a parent, it's so easy for them to take from you. It's like taking diamonds from a baby. So most of us are going to be victimized by our parents first in life, and that is going to prepare us to be victimized by the world later on in life. Watch how Andrea goes from being really creeped out to realizing that her mother is like her Joe Jackson to Michael Jackson, her Ike to her Tina, her Judas to her Jesus, her soul sucker who trained her into being a soul savior.
My mother creeps me out. Has always creeps me out. The way she looks at me. Like she's shopping. Parts of my beauty, looks, youth. She's trying to figure out how she can get me to give it to her. Just like a parent can ask a child to give the parent money. Give it to me. Give it to me. Just give me the money. Give it to me. On a soul level, any person can ask another person to give them their youth, beauty, energy, positivity, hope, and soul. And so parents often abuse this. And ask their children to give them their youth, money, or good energy. And so what I am realizing is that my whole life, my mother has done this. Not necessarily behind my back, but behind my back. And she got away with it because I kind of played dumb and kind of just made excuses for her. But I'm not playing dumb anymore or making excuses for her. I am seeing for the first time the horror of how a mother preys upon her daughter, her own daughter. And I don't want to say it freaks me out or creeps me out, but what is the adjective there?
Yeah, it's scary.
It's to the point where you don't want to talk to her, right?
Yeah. mean, it's like, find out this guy is stalking you, you know, and you're like, okay, what the fuck? No.
Right. Right. Okay.
Because now every interaction I have with her is, now it's interesting because now I'm so aware of it that I feel it. I just feel it even through the texts. She's keeping pins, maybe she doesn't know she's keeping, she cares, but she's not genuine.
I'm suspicious. Is she sucking my soul? Is her outreach to me just a trap to get more of my soul, my energy, or to suck my soul? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can't trust her. So it's causing you to be very suspicious, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The way she looks at me, right? She's shopping for body parts. Okay. So, now it's causing me to be very suspicious of her. And I'm getting creeped out. So I can't, number 3 is, I can't have the same relationship with my mother anymore, because now I know, or I am aware of, her dark secret. She thought she had well hidden all these years.
And she was like, now I'm remembering that. It was very sadistic. It was very like psychopathic, because like she would spank me or strike me or belittle me, stifle me, and then she would nurture me. You know what I mean? So like, and now she's trying to be all loving. Now she's not that. She can't. How do you do that to someone for 10 years and then you turn around and just like, okay, well, I'm changing now.
Okay, so she exhibits bipolar-like extremes.
So
you know, when you get bipolar.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So she goes from one extreme to the other.
Yeah, and when you're a kid, you're like, I mean, that's all you know, and then you grow up thinking that's love. When someone doesn't treat you unfairly, and then they cook for you with love and kindness, it's twisted.
Okay. That's called abuse. And the mechanics, let's look at the mechanics of abuse. Come here, Little Red Riding Hood. Come here, I have some cookies. And then you let Little Red Riding Hood recover, like, whoa, what was that? Did you just eat my heart out? No, don't worry about that, honey. Sit down. Let me make you some nice soup. Then you take the liver. Like, oh, did you just eat my liver? No, sweetheart, just stay there. It's okay. I don't know what just happened. What just happened, Grandma? So, what's happening is you don't want to let your victim know that you just removed her liver or her brain or her heart, because she still has some stuff you want to get. She still has some good organs that you want. So you groom your victim. You groom your victim, right? And so you're kind of wondering, Is my mother harming me again? Oh my gosh. This is sick and twisted. I just, like, you're getting creeped out again. Is she grooming me? Because she's going to do another organ transplant or organ removal? Okay, so abuse is, people who abuse get really adept at bipolarism. They show their monster and then they cover it up with the sweet angel, and then they show their monster and cover it up. And they're kind of hoping you only remember the angel part, and you kind of forget the monster. Whoops. Oh, didn't mean this. That's a nip slip, right? Saw my little nipple there. Whoops. You know, and then they cover it up. And then it comes out, and then they cover it up. They're like, whoop, whoop, didn't see that. You didn't see anything, did you? No, you didn't see a monster. No, did you see a demon run through the living room? No. Oh, no, sweetie, everything's okay.
The dark side of the veil would come out. She was very, and people around her, like my aunts, would comment on her. Reading this.
Okay, so what's happening is, keyword was, having a relationship with my mother's public, fake, made-up, fantasy persona. The used car salesman persona that greeted me at the door. All these years, I thought she was the face or the mask she was showing me. I mean, here and there, would slip through, but I'm pretty sure the majority of the time she was this mask. And then on second thought, as I'm beginning to dissect and analyze all my relationships, at the root of what's making them fail or have the problems, I see or I find my mother and the way she pulled the wool over my eyes as a child, so that now I realize that I let men pull the wool over my eyes because my mother, the wolf, trained me to be a sheep. And I resent her for preparing me to be the world's victim.
All of that, all the pain that's been through.
Knowing all the pain she's put me through, knowing all of that, How could you do that?
So then I'm thinking, does she really know? I mean, because it's ego, right? I don't want to be a victim. But I also don't want to ignore. I deserve to be treated better by everybody, including her, specifically her, or else I wouldn't. I mean, her job was to raise her job, just like every mother is to raise their child in order for them to not victims of the world. And she controlled me. She raised me what she wanted to raise me. She took from me. And she was like, okay, go into the world.
Okay, so what happens is, I wrote right here, my soul is fighting back like a little lamb. I deserve to be treated better. You did this to me. You did that to me. You did this to me. You did that to me. And the wolf will go respond to the little lamb, go, oh, 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 So the only one taking this charade seriously is the little lamb. Like, why would you? Why would you? And the wolf is like, oh. So the lamb is still a lamb, trying to figure out why a mother or a parent would prey upon its own child. And the lamb is asking, did you really know? Did you know? And the wolf is going, I don't know. Who would know that? If you didn't know, how could I know? The wolf is still joking around. Still thinks it's a joke.
Maybe that's why I never talked to her about it, because of that reason. I've been asked by therapists, how do you talk to your mother about this, or I just don't, I never saw, my answer was always, I don't see the point. Maybe that's why, because deep inside I know she's not going to understand. It's something that, again, I have to deal with on my own.
When you attack or poke at somebody who's, let's call them evil, it's almost like they have a thick rubber, casing. So when you poke, usually you poke at people and they go, ouch! It's not. It's just like a big rubber thing. There's nothing is. So they keep joking, and they're like, no. The wolf keeps joking. So you can't. It's like, don't you have feelings? You don't have a heart? I told you. Don't you see that your baby was abused and that what could have happened? No. Because if you actually, like a real person would scratch and bleed and be like, oh, what's going on? But when you poke at somebody who's evil, it's like poking rubber. So you can stick the knife way in and boing, boing. They're still joking around. And you're trying to be serious and they're joking around. But if you strike too hard or too deep with the truth, and you break their rubber, you break the mask, that fake persona and that fake mask, what's going to happen is she's not going to bleed, and she's not going to go, oh, I hurt my baby. What happens is the demon is going to come out like, so that's why you don't poke evil people, because they don't bleed. They just bipolar it into the realm of hell. And then you're not even talking to a human, you're talking to this demon that you somehow unleashed by attacking and poking evil.
Yeah, and that's so true, because when, just recently, I mean, like I said, I kept myself from, I abstained from sending her pictures. And when I sent her a picture, she's, you know, she says the comment about my hair, and I'm like, what are you talking about? And she's like smiley face, like she's joking. And I'm on this side, I'm uncomfortable, like, what the fuck is she talking about? Does she not know? It's just like smiley face, like, oh, it's the new year, I'm evil. So yeah, she doesn't, it's like she fakes it. It's twisted, it's sickening. It's like, it makes me want to vomit.
Right, because it's a dark energy. So your question is, did she know? Okay, you're talking about, when we ask, do you know, we're actually asking, do you have a conscience? You know, a conscience, you know, like that, a conscience, like a conscientiousness, moral compass. Do you have a heart? I mean, are you human? Are you human? Because any human being would kind of, and this is it. I'm not saying your mother is in this category. I'm just saying people who have sold their soul. Not necessarily to the devil or to money or to greed or to vanity or to whoever, but that's pretty much who you sell your soul to. Don't have a soul. Or if they have a soul, they don't have access to it right now, like a bank account. Access to it right now. It's being held in escrow. You know what I mean? Because they sold it. Someone else has the deed. Someone else has the deed and the title, the pink slip, if you will, to their soul. So you're asking, are you human? Well, the definition of human is possesses a soul. Okay, so if they don't have a soul because they temporarily sold it and they haven't bought it back yet, because you can buy your soul back. It's very expensive. The interest rate is unbelievable. Let's say you want to charge it on a karmic credit card, 23% interest. You haven't bought it back because it's so expensive to get your soul back. It's insane. They haven't bought their soul back. Currently do not own their own soul. I'm so sorry, let's just be honest. I currently am not in possession of my own soul. I rented it out. Let's be honest, I sold it to a loan shark. I'm gonna buy it back, probably not. And anywho, I don't have one. Sorry, I don't have one. I can borrow one. I can try to, I can borrow one. My neighbor might let me use his for like an hour or something. And if I let him babysit his kids, and and then I can return it later. But I don't have my actual own soul. So, what was your question again? Oh, okay. Well, see, my soul probably does know, but I don't have it right now. It's this guy named Lucifer. He took it across the border. I mean, I can email him and ask him if he wants to ask my soul if she knew or not, but, you know, what do you want me to do, Andrea? Like, I don't have a communication with my soul, so, you want to ask me a different question or something, but this particular question requires a conscious, and I don't really have one right now. I know what a conscious is. It comes with, it's an accessory to the soul, and since the soul is gone, they took the whole package. So, I mean, we can communicate ego to ego, but we can't really communicate soul to soul to soul. I just don't have one right now. Like, I might, you know, you might want to wait till, like, I'm dying of cancer, then I might, you know, try to buy back my soul at that time. But right now is not a good time to have a conversation because I don't have a soul. So, your question is, did she really know? The true question is, how can you, she doesn't have an ability to ask herself that type of question because she didn't have the equipment. There's some hardware missing. It's not like you install a software program and the thing runs. You can't update the operating system. There's some missing hardware. The soul is hardware. You just need some basic equipment.
She doesn't have a soul. She doesn't have a soul.
She had, but she sold it, you know. A lot of people sell their souls. You know, a lot. This is not, it's not, you're acting like she's some circus freak. I mean, come on, the majority of people sell their souls. You know, you're like trying to tell, you know, she's not in fact, you're in the minority, she's in the majority, so the fact that you're treating her like she's some circus freak when she's in the majority is a little outlandish of you.
That's why my sister, because I was thinking about when you said earlier, why my sister's sick, and I think it's because she's weaker. I was stronger in the light. My poor sister, she's not strong. And it's funny because if you see my sister, physically, she portrays like a fragile, like her bones are skinny, you know. And when you see me, I'm like, I'm physically stronger and portraying strength. So I think that's what my sister got. And my sister, she was on depression. She got depression as well. She was on antidepressants. She was younger.
Okay, so symptoms of when someone has sucked the life out of you, or sucked your soul, or fed off of your soul. Okay, so if you don't have a soul, you have to feed off of other people's soul. Because you have to have life force, or you'll age rapidly. And people who have sold their soul usually sold it so they wouldn't age. So they hit an expiration date, they need to start feeding off of other people's soul. When someone is feeding off your soul, the symptoms are depression. Deep depression, you know, physical weakness, can't get it together, codependency.
My sister, she's still like that. She's 34, and to this day, she has a master's in clinical psychology, and she was a hostess at a restaurant, and her lack of motivation was just, it always, it was always beyond me. Like, how do you not do something with your life?
Let's talk about the signs and symptoms of selling your soul. You stay and look young forever. You suck the youth and the life force from all those around you. They get older, age, fatter, wrinkly, while you stay magically young. And if you look at people who are soul suckers are usually the lone, bright, happy rose in a bed of weeds, because they have sucked the life out of everyone around them. And you can see those little wilty, all their inner circle, all their friends are these losers. They surround themselves with losers. Did they surround themselves with losers? Or did they make everyone around them losers? Or did they turn everyone around them into losers? Because they sucked their soul. So soul suckers have a youthful energy about them, but it's a sarcastic and it's a sinister, dark, youthful energy. It is not an innocent, youthful energy.
That's my mom.
So here is Andrea. I want to ask my mother's soul a question. Did she know? But my mother doesn't know where her soul is, so we can't find it, so I can't ask. I gotta, get the CIA to hunt down the soul so I can ask it. Did you know? So we don't know the whereabouts.
Of her soul? Oh, shit. It's lost somewhere.
Lost, thank you. It's lost. So I can't ask, we don't know where it is, so... This whole time you thought she had it right inside of her, didn't you? And it turns out that it was somewhere in, Argentina or somewhere. It was, not even in the United States.
God, yeah. Mm-hmm. But it totally makes sense. Obviously, it makes sense. It's just... That's so funny. It's scary. I mean, it's... Well, yeah, you totally... It's scary because if I'm around now, if I'm around someone, I immediately sense a pull, and I don't hang out with that person or I address it, right? That they're gone. But with her, it's like my entire life. And it's just, man, this woman gave birth to me. It's like, that's why, and I believe, okay, she had a soul, but now she didn't, it's heaviness of the household. That's why I hate going there. And that's why I stay away from it. I don't go because I realize that I'm back. I can't be in that house for more than a day. It's really...
Okay, so you're getting creeped out because little did you know you were swimming with piranha your whole life. And you're like, Hey, who knew? Okay, so it's a miracle you survived, and it's creepy. It's like those horror stories where the murderer was in your closet all night long and you slept and you didn't know. And in the morning they snuck out. Those creepy stories that they tell you in Halloween. My mother was a soul sucker. And you're so aware. You can walk into a shopping mall and go, soul sucker, soul sucker, soul sucker, not, yes, yes, yes. You're hyper aware of soul suckers.
Yes.
Because you realize you've been living with one this whole time.
Yeah.
Okay, so why would God send me to go live with evil Mrs. Kravitz or my evil stepmother. In all those Disney movies, the little girl orphan was raised by a wicked, soul-sucking surrogate parent because her real parents died. You know what I mean?
I need to watch. I've been wanting to watch that movie, the Snowman, whatever this. I'll watch it.
Snow White and the Huntsman.
Snow White.
Right.
But I've asked God that. Why? I don't even know, because Vicky, I mean, it's such a deep lesson that it's so big. It's a huge lesson that I can't even grasp it, because everything else with other people I can understand. Learning to accept people as they are. But with her, it's a bigger lesson than that. It has to be. It was just too long.
Right, you're brainstorming up, you're making excuses, you're like, there has to be some reason, because you actually don't think there is a reason, so you're trying to make stuff up at this point. There has to be some reason, who knows. The heroine, the little tween, the girl grows up to be a teenager, okay? So the little girl grows up to be a tween, a teenager, in between adulthood and childhood, a tween. Teenage woman. Who saves everyone? Right? Always that little orphan girl ends up saving the village, saving Dorothy. Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz ends up saving all the people of Oz. So it's always a female who ends up saving everyone. Okay, now there's different kinds of saviors. There's warrior princesses, right? There's Cinderellas. They don't save anyone, they get rescued. So they're not saviors. Okay, so we're just talking saviors, okay? Okay, so we're not talking princesses, we're talking about saviors. Okay, so it's not Cinderella who grows up and gets rescued, not waiting around to get rescued. Snow White was waiting around to get rescued. Sleeping Beauty was waiting around to get rescued. We're talking about the Miyazakis, the Grimm fairy tales, like the other mythologies, where the heroine, little orphan Annie, right? Princess Mononoke, Mulan. How does God groom a young female savior? Oh, she can't have a normal childhood. A girl, like, let's just, for example, like, even if you make her a housekeeper like Cinderella or Snow White, they can't ride horses, they can't fight, they can't do anything. We need a tomboy. We need somebody who you can kick around and grow calluses when she's like 4 years old, who can climb trees, who can hit back, who's not afraid of evil, because she sings and she makes fun of dark people. Pippi Longstocking. Because there's one thing is to fear evil and run away, Snow White, don't touch evil. And there's the level 1 is fearing evil. Level 2 is confronting evil. Now, stand up for yourself. You deserve to have a voice. And the next thing is fighting evil. Xena the warrior princess. I'm not afraid of you. And another thing is... and the other thing is laughing at it. Oh, come on. You gotta be joking me. My stepmother used to hit me with a broom when I was in first grade. You think that's gonna scare me? Laughing at it. Like, you are not a bully. You're just a fat kid who has some issues, you know. So, if... So to be a female savior, not only do you have to not be afraid of evil, you have to go all the way up to the highest level where we're fighting or killing evil. Right here is we are avoiding evil. We're avoiding it. No, stay away. Don't touch those toxic people, Snow White. They're evil. Confronting it, right, which is not being afraid of evil. Acknowledging evil. It's called acknowledging. Avoiding, then we're up here to acknowledging. Fighting evil is literally conquering it. Conquering it or killing it. So see how we're escalating, we're going up the levels? When you're laughing at it, you are mastering evil. You rule its ass. It's your slave. It's your slave. Like, your ass is my servant. Get on your hands and knees and start serving me. So, if I kill evil, it's dead, it's gone. But if I make it my slave, it actually has to go run my errands and fold my laundry and clean my car. I put it to use. That is so much more productive than just killing it off.
Oh, yeah.
Let's use evil.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, let's cheap labor. My cheap labor. But in order to get to that very high level of mastering evil, God has to groom his female saviors from a young age. So he makes them be born to a caretaker who is pure evil, so that from a young age the little girl laughs at evil. You're just a fat old lonely lady. You're not evil. So she has to laugh from a young age, because by the time everyone else is running for their lives, she's like, "Oh no, you think that's evil? You should have seen my stepmother." So God had to have put you and go sent you to live with a soul sucker, because he was grooming a female savior.
That's what the angels told me a while back, that they were always with me and they were grooming me. They had been grooming me to become this, like strong. I forgot the words that they used, but it's good.
you can't save her. She's not meant to be saved.
Right, exactly.
It's like taking a rhinoceros and trying to teach it how to be a cat. It's supposed to have the big horn and no fur. You should honor the rhinoceros for what it is. It's every species. A cobra snake, like, cobra snake, you're very toxic and you bite and kill people. People are scared of you. Let me teach you how to be a bunny rabbit and people will like you more. It's like it's a snake. It was designed to be a snake. Snakes are gorgeous. They serve a purpose. Your mother's evil serves a purpose. You are taking away her purpose by saving her and trying to make her change her species. You're not honoring her life path as a cobra. She consciously chose to come into this life and sell her soul. She wanted that. As much as you want to come into this life and save people's souls, she consciously wanted to come into this world and suck people's souls. You are no better than her and no worse. You can't judge her and say, why don't you help me suck souls? It's like chocolate or strawberry. Which is different flavors, girl. You can't say chocolate's better than strawberry. How do you know strawberry's not? We're just different souls. There's night and day on the planet. You want just all daylight and we never have night, see the stars? You have to have day and night. You have to have male and female. You have to have dark and light. You have to have cobras and bunny rabbits. And you have to have soul suckers and soul savers. And you have to have angels and demons. That's the way we live. Why can't you just respect the yin and the yang of the universe? Why do you want to turn everything into yin?
So that answers my question as far as the relationship with her. I'll just have to be, objective. I understand. Now I understand the name of the game. So I won't be emotionally attached to the experience. I'll just accept it as it is. Yes, try to take some time. That answers my question about my relationship with her.
It's a sport. I am playing this sport, the game of life. It's not playing me. I'm playing the sport. It's not playing me. I was letting it play me, and I got very depressed and self-victimizing. I had a little pity party, but no, I'm going to switch it around. I'm playing it. It's playing me. We're good.
Yeah. Oh my God. Wow, so she was the, I gotta say this, she was the best teacher. I gotta say it. Hands down, man. Hands down. She takes that first place. Wow. Yeah. And I'll gladly give her the prize. There you go, man.